and our group will present about the topic in modern work market, ways of organization to balance flexible work with maintaining in-person engagement and organizational culture, exploiting the case of Nexus. Our group has 5 members and we will deliver the content of this presentation. The first 3 parts will give you a general overview of modern workplace arrangement, its outcome, and companies' adaptation of strategies toward this arrangement. Then the role of leadership will be exposed. The last 2 parts will be the application in a more practical case of Nexus Corporation. Now let's come to the next part.
Hi guys, I'm Dato. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to work on this important issue. Let me start by briefly analyzing the psychological and behavior dynamics behind in-office attendance, what motivates employees to come in and what holds them back. One major drive is visibility. Some employees worry their remote work efforts may go unnoticed by management. Becky highlights that many remote workers tend to overcompensate by working longer hours just to prove they are productive. For ambitious employees, being seen in the office still feels like a faster road to recognition. Others value the spontaneous interaction and informal conversations that happen in the office. As Sugiyama suggests, face-to-face moments often strengthen collaboration and team bonding. On the other hand, the biggest barrier is habit. Long-term remote work has created a sense of interior. People are used to the convenience of avoiding commutes and prefer the flexibility. Additionally, some employees lack of a strong sense of belonging and feel no difference walking away from the office. In terms of solution, we suggest offering positive incentives rather than pushing remote work. For example, introduce visibility-linked bonuses or in-office participation rewards. Also, support employees with additional commuting assistance or family-friendly return-to-office options. Next, let's look at how long-term flexible impacts the company across different levels. Flexible work enhances autonomy, allowing people to manage their time and attracting more diverse talent, including cross-regional professionals and those with disabilities. It also reduces commuting time, which helps productivity. However, it also brings challenges. A lack of face-to-face interaction reduces team cohesion, and many employees feel a weaker sense of belonging. New staff often struggle in integrate, and collaboration becomes more fragmented and costly. Balancing autonomy and belonging is now a critical task. According to self-determination theory, these two are not in conflict, but rather fundamental psychological needs that must coexist. We propose 3 approaches. First, create virtual social spaces such as digital employee walls and team highlights to foster connection. Second, reconfigure physical office into comfortable, collaborative environments so that people actually want to return. Third, set regular in-office collaboration days weekly or monthly so that teams can rely and accelerate project progress more effectively. That concludes my part. Thank you. I will now hand over to my member for the next session.
Hello, my name is Snow. Today, I want to talk about address the ethical and practical implications of shifting workspace expectations. With the rise of hybrid work, companies face challenges in fairness, culture, and productivity. Nexus enterprises must ensure inclusiveness while applying organizational behavior theories. According to physiological contract theory, employees expect flexibility and sudden return to office mandate may erode trust. Robbins et al. 2022. A gradual transition with transparent communication in Astor inquiry theory highlights that remote employees may feel disadvantaged. Leading to dysfunction Adams 1965. Evaluating employees decide on performance rather than persons, ensure fairness. Robbins et al. 2022. Hybrid work also raised eco concerns, altruism support, mandatory of office work for celebration, will sedentary employees read the Atomy Robin and all 2022. Other days can balance both needs. The second, in practice, hybrid work may weaken corporate culture and engagement. Mentorship programs and online team building can help. Mental health concerns should be addressed through a right to disconnect policy and physiological support. Robbins et al. 2022. To ensure fairness, performance should be assessed by result rather than visibility. About this issue, I believe that new solutions should provide more value for on-site introduction that will help encourage employees to return to the office rather than discover flexibility. Furtherly, companies can redesign the office design according to Castro Moria 2024. Redesigning the office can be a good way to meet people's expectations of hybrid work, especially through active workspace, social centers, and amenities to increase voluntary attendance. The second point is organized purposeful gathering where face-to-face introduction can increase employees' engagement. For example, a quarterly innovation event can be organized where the entire team get together to discuss one or more activities. Allow employees to freely communicate, brainstorm, and involve. This kind of informal meeting will make employees feel their value. The third point is encourage employees to start in the office. The company can provide financial incentives such as recognition programs, subsidies, commuting costs, and arrange flexible working hours. Those can be very good to meet most employees' preference and promote them to return to the office. It has been proven that financial and non-financial incentives positively increase in-office attendance while bringing employees satisfaction. Castro Monia 2024.
Yeah, so I'm going to discuss about the role of leadership in shaping the workplace norms. Leadership plays an important role in shaping the workplace, as executives set the organization's culture through their action, decisions, and communication style. Leaders influence all employees' behavior and ethics by modeling and reinforcing desired behavior. A great workplace doesn't just happen, it is created by leaders. The way executives communicate, interact, and set expectation directly influences the employees. So here are some key ways executives can encourage a vibrant, interactive office environment. The first one is like leaders' clear vision. So having a clear vision in the mind and clear communication among the employees regarding company's mission can create a sense of purpose that energizes the whole team. By this way, employees can feel a sense of belongingness and they can just work hard. So the second one is bringing people together across departments. So by this way, I think it's a good way for achieving the goal of the organization. So like because every employee is a form of in a form of different background and everyone has expertise in their own field. So encouraging collaboration across department through projects and network events or just a casual coffee chats can break down silos and spark new ideas. And the third one is like designing spaces that encourage connection. So the workplace doesn't about the desks and computers. It is about making an environment where people can naturally connect. So leaders should make it easy for employees to engage with one another. For example, organizing a lunch with all the employees. So the fourth one is trust employees to make decisions. Giving employees the freedom to make ownership of their work and make decisions foster a sense of responsibility and pride. Trust builds confidence, and confidence leads to better results. So the leaders must trust their employees and should listen to their opinions and should agree to their decisions if it's good for the organization. Thank you. Yeah, so now I'm going to discuss about the Nexus case summary. So Nexus Enterprise, a long-term advocate for workplace flexibility, now struggles with the unintended consequences of its successful hybrid model. While attracting talent and building its brand on remote work, the company faces an empty office crisis post-pandemic, leading to decreased collaboration, mentorship, and organizational cohesion. Failed attempt to incentivize in-office presence, coupled with external pressures favoring traditional work models, leave Nexus at an impasse. The company must balance its core values with the need to restore a sense of community and address the challenges of remote onboarding and innovation. Thank you.
Let's now talk about how Nexus should approach balancing flexibility with a strong corporate identity. A company's identity is what holds everything together. It's more than just branding, it's about shared values, it's sense of belonging, a kind of common purpose. The challenge with hybrid work is that if it's not managed well, employees can start feeling disconnected. A research by Manka from 2002 shows that companies using hybrid models often struggle with engagement and maintaining a strong work culture. So, what can they do next is that first, it needs a clear work philosophy. Flexibility is great, but employees also need to know that what is expected from them. Instead of just saying work from anywhere, Nexus should set clear guidelines when and why in person collaboration is required. Some tasks like brainstorming, mentorship, or team building are just more effective face to face. Communicating this helps employees feel more connected to their roles of the company. Next, they should evolve its employer value proposition. The workforce has changed. People want flexibility but also want to be part of something bigger. To make hybrid work successful, they should build more models that allow autonomy while keeping employees engaged through strong leadership, team activities, and cultural initiatives. At the end of the day, it's not about choosing between flexibility and corporate identity, it's about integrating in them in a way that works both for the company and its people. If done right, hybrid work is not a challenge, it can be a strength.
Assessing whether the company should revise its employer value proposition, hereby EVP, is essential. Edward 2010 and Law 2015, in line with previous study, recap the general concept. It's actually the statement defining how an organization satisfies its employees' needs and satisfactions. In other words, it represents a mix of characteristics and appeal of working in an organization from employees' perspective. In the case of Nexus, the company's EVP is indeed its workplace flexibility, with the position of the pioneer in the modern work arrangement with trust-based management and result-oriented. Nexus Enterprise decade-long commitment to the workplace flexibility, while a powerful differentiator at first, has been facing a paradoxical crisis of organizational disconnection or the lack of social connection. It also reveals a critical misalignment between the company's current EVP and the evolving work expectation. While workplace flexibility is still an advantageous point at the pandemic period, work trends underscore the necessity for a balanced approach that integrates purposeful presence and robust career development opportunities, especially for the early career employees. Furthermore, through this time, Access also exposed to the lack of ability to also cover mental health support and strong sense of community within its corporation. Addressing this challenge and to preserve employee trust, Nexus must have the solution fundamentally revise its EVP and implement strategic changes. The previous section did mention the practical solutions in general for the possible challenge of workplace flexibility. So, to put into Nexus case, the company should transit from a purely flexibility centric to a more structural hybrid model, which implies purposeful driven flexible collaboration and emphasize the value of in-person interaction for innovation and career advancement. To nurture a culture of connection necessitates thoughtful action, including investing in team building activities, creating dedicated collaborative space, and prioritizing manager training to effectively lead a hybrid teams. Another vital point to conduct is clear communication, employee involvement, and a focus on psychological safety for managing the transition and ensuring that the return to office is perceived as a collaborative effort, not a punitive measure. So to sum up, the key takeaway of the whole content hereby stated, creating successful hybrid work environment demands a nuanced understanding of employee needs and organizational dynamics. We examine the psychological factors driving workplace attendance, the impact of flexible work, strategic solutions for engagement, the crucial role of leadership, and the specific challenge and adaptation required for Nexus Enterprise. And that is the end of our presentation. Here is the reference that we use to conduct our research. Thank you for listening and hope you will have a good day. Thank you.